I've lately been getting accounts of Padre Pio's experiences in my YouTube feed. I don't know his biography, but I know that he was a priest who had mystical experiences and insights into people's souls when they came for confession. And if these accounts are to be believed, then what awaits the unrepentant soul is not so much a physical fire as a suffering born of separation, separation from the truth, separation from the source of life. The hallmarks of the separation are with us while we are yet alive, but it's not known for what it is at the time for lack of experience with its absence. That absence of separation is unknown because once it's known, it cannot be forgotten. So in these accounts that were supposedly from Padre Pio, he would see people who, upon their death, would be given an opportunity to receive grace, to humble themselves, and, in a sense, die unto themselves, to really let go and surrender. And when they don't, they basically fall away. Like they fall into a separation, they fall into darkness, as opposed to ascending into the light. The separation in life before the person dies would manifest as a hunger that's of unknown origin, the satiation of which is pointed to by the voice in the head in the form of myriad objects and experiences to be desired. That desire also is the parent of unhealthy ambition. Anytime you see somebody with an unhealthy ambition like that, there's something missing in them. They're not in touch with source, because if they were, they wouldn't have this outside ambition that strives for this thing. What they would already have in the absence of the machinations to accomplish that thing would eclipse what those machinations would promise. And so it's kind of self-defeating. Connection to source really destroys ambition. This kind of separation can only be achieved by a human being. Only human beings exhibit this kind of ambition. Animals cannot. Human beings, we, through obsessive thinking, become disconnected from the perception of the energy body, of the soul. The soul does not get our attention. Instead, the thoughts do. Our attention is given to obsessive thinking about ourselves and what we want and what we fear. It's constant thinking about what is wanted and what is not wanted. It pulls all of the energy that would otherwise grow the soul into the ego, and it causes a kind of deadness. I once heard a mendicant tell me that they had occasion to accidentally touch a person they knew to be deeply, deeply unconscious. And they got like the heebie-jeebies from the energetic deadness, like touching a piece of dead wood or a corpse. In such a one, the talking part of the brain has sponged up all the energy in the system by capturing all the attention, leaving nothing for the rest of the body. The separation it's facilitated by judging what is and then giving all attention to the desired alternatives. But that's predicated on unconscious identification with one to gain or lose these things. It takes this potential to have a conceptual self to be cut off from source. If you think about it, an animal can't really do that. An animal doesn't have an identity. So for example, if a lion were to reincarnate multiple times as a lion, its past life memories would be very composite in nature. It would not easily be able to distinguish between one lion life and another. It doesn't have a conceptual self and other such selves to relate to make the world seem like a different place with each incarnation. Someone commented on my video a while back, I can't remember which video, but basically they wanted me to talk about the 100 monkeys. And I haven't done any research on this. I know what it means though. But my recollection is the idea is that when you train members of an animal species to do something, the learning curve begins to flatten for other members of that species who are located in non-contiguous geographies. So this suggests that there's some collective unconscious within the animal kingdom into which they can tap to help them adapt behaviorally to conditions. So like you teach dogs in Europe a trick, it takes them so much time to learn. Then you teach dogs somewhere else the same trick, and now the learning curve is flatter. So it sounds like Jung's collective unconscious. So if such a thing is true, then the mental fabric of the thing we call the identity or personality would be a hindrance to tapping into that collective unconscious. It's like the attention that absorbs doesn't let awareness penetrate past it. Attention is a zero-sum game, and attention given to obsessive thinking cannot be given to the energy body or soul or source. So if you consider that it's observation that causes the collapse of the wave function of potentiality into a definite outcome, then that which is not observed never becomes real. It just stays sort of in potentiality. So when we feed the energy that follows our attention to obsessive thoughts, the whispers that come to us from the astral realm, the inorganic beings on the other side of those thoughts are devouring our spiritual inheritance. And instead of that energy going to nourish and build the soul, it's going to inorganic being. The attention that we give them makes them real in the same way that the attention that we would give an event makes it a real circumstance. So when the spiritual heart never comes into awareness by virtue of its sustenance through attention being given to inorganic parasites, that spiritual heart it becomes anemic or just non-existent. So it's like a soulless being that's nothing but the expression of conditioning given the energy that's converted from the gross to the subtle through the straw of attention. But the soul that's meant to be cultivated by that energy, it never gets developed. And so when death comes, there's no energy body to be resorbed into the life force, the source of truth, the divine will that makes reality what it is, that shapes it, like all the vibrations, like this dream with the higher thread count. Instead, that energy resides within the thought forms to which it was given, in such that egoic shell stratifies to the level of its vibration. The lower the vibrational level, the greater the separation, and the greater the desire to regain flesh to once again taste the energy that divine will converts from gross to subtle. Whether or not that energy in the next incarnation is then given to the growth of a soul or a continuation of feeding the parasites depends on grace and whether or not it's accepted. That's what's meant by the old man must die for the new creature to be born. The conceptual person stops getting all of the energy and instead attention's alignment with reality through surrender mainlines that energy into the spiritual heart and thus grows the soul to be palpable. That's all for now.